Beneath this beautiful landscape lies an alien world, a labyrinth of twisting passages and great cathedrals of rock, where strange creatures lurk in the darkness, where the secrets of the past are untouched by the hands of time, and scientific marvels wait to be discovered. Get ready to enter the unknown and experience the wonder beneath. Just below the surface is a part of America that few have ever seen. A subterranean world as uncharted as the surface of Mars.
When I think of caves, I think of all the possibilities. I think of adventure, exploration, secrets, discovery, like exploring a new world.
The adventure begins at the caves of the national parks. These spectacular sites are on the forefront of scientific exploration, from archaeology to medicine. But they are also fragile realms, where we must strike a delicate balance between appreciation and conservation. There are over 3,900 cave and karst systems within America's national park system. 21 of them are open for exploration. The best place to start is a geological marvel in the heart of Kentucky. These green hills hide the longest cave system in the world that we know of. It all starts with something called karst, an area of irregular topography riddled with fissures, sinkholes, underground streams, and caves. Mammoth Cave is a solution carbonic cave. It's just one part of this huge karst system, all carved by a simple chemical reaction, the same reaction that puts the fizz in your soda. The main ingredient to creating these passages is water. As it passes through air and soil, water picks up carbon dioxide. This makes a weak carbonic acid, which works through cracks in the limestone, slowly dissolving the rock. A cross-section of the karst system can look like the interior of a sponge, with passages forming one atop another. This is how Mammoth Cave was created. But the system doesn't stop here. The water eventually descends to the level of the Green River, the water table. There it spills out of the ground and into the river through springs. 22% of our drinking water flows through porous rock in this way. It's not a filtering system. Groundwater is vulnerable to surface litter and soil pollutants, contaminants that can turn up in our drinking water.
Here's an example of one of the pools that is very susceptible to contamination from above. Everything that we do up on the surface has an effect on the groundwater down here below.
Clean drinking water is one reason we must protect our cave and karst systems. But there's another. Caves are the guardians of the past. Mammoth, like many caves, provides a relatively stable environment.
There's no wind, there's no rain. So something left down here would be like it would last forever.
Centuries ago, Native Americans explored these rooms. They left behind clues to their presence and their ingenuity. Primitive ladders, vegetable fiber sandals, even an ancient gypsum mine.
You can see the gypsum up there. It's mined all along that ledge.
Patty Jo Watson and George Crothers have been studying Mammoth for years, hoping to unlock the secrets of its first visitors.
Archaeology is often likened to detective work, to forensic work of various kinds. You're following up clues, you're putting together a puzzle. You modify your ideas as you go along. And you can come to a point when suddenly you understand it.
What do you think this is, Pat?
You know what it is you're looking at.
One of Mammoth's most fascinating mysteries is a smooth rock wall called the Devil's Looking Glass. The cave has preserved these 3,000-year-old petroglyphs, but not their meaning.
Someone has drawn in charcoal these figures.
One of the problems we have in Mammoth Cave is the surface does not change. It's not a usual archaeological situation. The surface we walk on today is the surface they walked on 2,000, 3,000 years ago. Anything I leave is going to be right next to something that could be 2,000 years old.
Even so, man is a newcomer here. Geologists believe Mammoth Cave began to form as long as 10 million years ago. But it doesn't always take that long. An ocean apart and eons away is another cave system, one that formed in a geologic blink of an eye. Perched in the middle of the Pacific Ocean on the Big Island of Hawaii sits Hawaii Volcanoes National Park. Lining the slopes of Kilauea and Mauna Loa are some of the deepest caves in the United States, the lava tubes. Every one of them was forged of molten rock in a matter of days.
The lava erupts and leaves the ground at 2,200 degrees Fahrenheit. It flows over land and is exposed to 70-degree air, where the top freezes over. The porous rock holds the heat inside of the tube, so it stays over 2,000 degrees. When the eruption stops, the lava drains out, leaving a hollow interior that looks more like a subway tunnel than a cave.
A hike inland reveals skylights, collapsed sections of the outer crust. These windows offer a spectacular glimpse of a lava tube in the making. Today, tours in the park offer a chance to walk these once fiery tubes, but Hawaiian natives have relied on them for centuries.
Lava tubes have always been essential for the survival of the Hawaiian people. Without them, we probably wouldn't be here today. We use lava tubes for everything from house shelters to collecting water. And we're not the only ones. Hundreds of species rely on lava tubes for their survival.
Including this one, the rock cricket. Since 1971, over 50 of these cave-adapted critters, or troglobites, have been identified in Hawaii. Like many other cave species, this little insect has adapted to life underground and in total darkness. Evolution has stripped Hawaii's troglobites of eyes, flight, and even pigmentation. But it has earned them a special place in the science books. The Big Island is only 700,000 years old, which means the rock cricket and his fellow tube dwellers must have evolved at breakneck speed. Their discovery is forcing scientists to rethink the pace of evolution. Masuri Waite is a research assistant at Hawaii Volcanoes National Park. He's collecting samples of rock crickets for a groundbreaking study examining evolution. The world inside a lava tube looks a bit upside down. Even the smallest vegetation needs a vast root system to survive in a rocky lava bed. That's good news for the residents below. The crickets make their living in the forest of roots that dangles from the cave ceiling. Collecting these shy creatures is no easy feat. In place of eyes, they've developed a sensitivity to the slightest vibration. After Masuri sets the bait, there's nothing left to do but wait, and wait, and wait.
All right, got 2 of them.
Then it's off to the lab to see what a couple of crickets can teach him. What's behind their supercharged evolution? It's all about nutrition. Unlike those in Mammoth, these troglobites have plenty to eat. This new study hints that species can take advantage of available resources like roots to speed up their evolution. And the discoveries don't stop there. Lava tubes provide an unlikely link to another frontier: space. NASA scientists believe that the lava tubes of Hawaii are similar to the tubes found on Mars. If life exists on the red planet, it'll probably be in caves, shielded from great temperature swings and solar radiation. If Hawaii's lava tubes are on the cutting edge of science, Carlsbad Caverns is on the cutting edge of conservation. Deep beneath the sun-baked Guadalupe Mountains of New Mexico is a labyrinth of world-class caves, including one of the largest single underground chambers, Carlsbad's Big Room. And it's enormous. Over 6 football fields can fit into this one cavern. So it may surprise you that something this huge and solid can be damaged by the slightest human contact. Even the touch of a hand can leave enough oil residues to stunt a rock formation's growth. Hair, skin, and even clothing lint accumulates on the cave walls and floors. It can actually change the ecology of a cave. Volunteerism is important to all national parks, and in Carlsbad, it means being part of an underground cleanup crew. Park rangers must descend to the deepest crevices to pick up gum, coins, and other objects that visitors leave behind. Human contamination also poses a big problem for scientists who conduct research in cave environments. Biologists Penny Boston and Diana Northup are testing a pristine pool in Spider Cave for signs of human impact. There's a lot at stake, more than we know. It's estimated that only 7% of the world's bacteria have been identified. Of that 7%, a few have led to the discovery of new antibiotics. The next wonder drug could be waiting in a cave pool below. Bacteria found in similar caves has stopped the growth of cancer cells in a lab. It's a fragile resource no one wants to risk losing. Even stopping for lunch takes special care.
Think about something you can't even see. When you drop something, it's like you just did a delivery truck full of food.
It may sound crazy, but a potentially life-saving bacteria can be destroyed by a breadcrumb or a flake of skin. Once at the pool, Boston and Northup place a variety of slides in the water. A year from now, the data will tell scientists how human presence has affected this cave and how the bacteria are responding. Their findings will provide a guide for others who follow in their footsteps, so these living caves will remain pristine for future research. Scientific exploration in caves is still in its infancy. New discoveries are made all the time. Up until 30 years ago, scientists assumed that the caverns of Carlsbad, like Mammoth, were solution caves formed by carbonic acid. But they began noticing inconsistencies they couldn't explain. Strange pockmarked walls and dead-end tunnels couldn't have been formed by flowing water. In addition to carbonic acid, there is evidence here of super powerful sulfuric acid, which can etch away rock in a fraction of the time, creating huge rooms.
So unlike caves that hollowed out from underground rivers and streams, this one hollowed out from petroleum deposits deep out under the basin. Out there, that hydrogen sulfide gas associated with those worked its way up through the ground until it mixed with the oxygen-rich water. It formed sulfuric acid. The acid was so strong, it could hollow out the rock. It formed vugs, like these. Now, vug may be a new word to you. It's just 3 little letters, V-U-G, 7 points in Scrabble.
Another 3-letter word is even more popular with Carlsbad visitors: bat. Each night, they come to see hundreds of thousands of Mexican free-tailed bats take flight.
If the crowd is quiet, what I'm expecting is that they will come spiraling out of the cave, heading off in that direction.
Just beyond the cave entrance and off limits to visitors is a chamber swarming with bats. As many as 300,000 roost together in this one room, producing something essential for a cave's ecosystem: guano, or bat droppings. Guano provides a home and dinner for some of the most extreme species. This unwholesome-looking carpet is over 40 feet deep and is crawling with life. When evening comes, the bats take flight. In a single night, they will consume around 2.5 tons of insects. From a distance, their nightly exodus can be mistaken for billowing smoke. If you're wondering how long bats have lived in the Carlsbad complex, here's a clue. Slaughter Canyon is home to a wall of bat guano 10 feet high. What appear to be small twigs are actually tiny bat bones. Many belong to species that have long been extinct. Bats are the crowd pleasers above ground. The subterranean stars are found 75 stories below. That's 4 times the height of the Statue of Liberty. Carlsbad's stunning formations. It's like strolling nature's art gallery. Mother Nature creates impressive structures by depositing calcium carbonate drop by drop over thousands of years. This process creates the formations we know as stalactites, C for ceiling, and stalagmites, G for ground. It has taken this youngster 72 years to grow the size of a fingernail. So one can only imagine how long it took to make this giant. For keen-eyed observers, there's magic in the details, like this bat, swallowed over time by the cave walls.
Beautiful stalagmite.
Leave it to nature to hide some of her most breathtaking works of art underground. But with a little care, they'll be around for generations to come, thrilling visitors time after time. Windows to the past. Secrets of evolution. Medical breakthroughs waiting in the dark. Caves offer all of this. Best of all, they're an open invitation to a strange and awesome world right here on Earth. So if you're willing to take the plunge, expect to have your preconceptions shattered, your imaginations ignited, and experience the thrill of exploration and discovery in the caves of America's national parks.